Hey guys, I'm Tiff,
I'm KB.
and we are beautifully blended. As you saw from our previous video, we are
Pregnant.
pregnant.
Pregnato.
As you can see by the test, we are pregnant. From my apps, we are currently 3 weeks and 5 days.
5 days, I believe.
3 weeks and 5 days. Our due date is July the 7th. From the apps
7
anyway.
7 17. That's an awesome number.
We go in and confirm pregnancy tomorrow at 3 p.m., which we're going to vlog tomorrow for you guys. First daily vlog for you. But I'm going to go ahead and let Babe get into how we chose our donor.
All right. Speaking of the vlog tomorrow, we're going to try to see if we can do it from the doctor's office. And all of that great stuff. But as far as choosing our donor, we tried several different ways of picking our donor at first. We tried some groups on Facebook. We tried the known donor registry. We looked at Pride Angel. What we did was she put the responsibility of finding the donor completely on me because not to use a heterosexual norm, but it's kind of where we're finding not the replacement, but the essence that I can't do.
That's as close to her as possible.
Close to me as possible.
I'm always going to have a genetic say in the baby because I am the bio mom. However, with her, it's not likely for the baby to get her actual gene, so to find somebody as close to her as possible, and which who knows her better than she knows herself. So why not?
Yes.
And to actually give her something to do because non-bio moms don't really have much to do during this process anyway. So yeah.
So the process of choosing the donor was completely and solely on me. So I didn't see when we looked on known donor registry. Known donor registry, by the way, is a great site. They're all free donors. They don't all necessarily have to be known. Some of them they're perfectly fine with not being known until the child is 18 if the child so chooses. So it's a fine site. We just didn't find anything on there that worked for us. I have a very specific, race and ethnicity and background and certain personality traits that I really felt was important. And I'm both a brainiac and an athlete, so I kind of wanted to find something that encompassed both of those. And I have a particular sense of humor that I wanted to find as well. So we actually ended up using a known donor. A known donor is a adopted brother of mine. We've been friends for a long time. We're kind of two peas in a pie. People joke and call us twins. He's the closest to a male version of me that you'll probably find without us being biologically connected. So that's how we found him. I actually found him through a hypothetical conversation. So if you're wondering how you would ask a known donor to be your known donor, I use the indirect route. Sometimes it works. We were just having a general conversation. I was telling him about some of the crazy people I was finding that were trying to help me and Tiff conceive and were saying they were fine with AI, and then they would see a picture of me and Tiff and then be like, oh, I do NI, and NI is not happening at all. So we were talking about that and joking around, and then I was like, because how much would you charge to do artificial insemination? If somebody asked you, like, how much would you actually charge somebody for you to ejaculate into a cup and give it to him? And he was like, oh, I wouldn't charge anything, just buy me some beers and I'd be perfectly fine, but I would only do it for people I know. So the light bulb went off in my head and I said, and I waited a couple of hours and then I hit him back up and was like, so how about you donate to us so that we can have a baby? And no hesitation, he was like, sure, no problem. So that's how our donor came to be. Then we went through our tracking and everything else, and we told him how the contract would go. We met up with him on the first day of INSEM, did a contract. We actually paid him $300 to just do the insemination completely. It was however many.
It was
however many it took.
$300. You got flat. Me. I'm in the door until y'all get pregnant.
He was completely fine. Just give me $300 to get you pregnant. Not for one try, not for two tries, not for 2 months. It was just $300 to get you pregnant.
That's it.
And we ended up only needing them for one cycle. So we thought we were getting a bargain. I mean, which we still got a bargain, but you know, we ended up only needing them for one cycle. So I guess he figured, if I'm giving y'all a flat rate, we're going to get this done as quickly as possible. So, and he was always on time. He was awesome.
Yeah.
He was always on time.
No issues. He came every day. We said that
no
we needed
issues.
him.
There were some days that we hit him up the night before and said, "Hey, we need you to come the next day," and he would be like, "That's fine. What time?" None of that. No weirdness. A little bit of awkwardness that first time. We'll get into that a little bit later, but no type of issues besides that. So we kind of got lucky on the donor part, but Babe's going to talk a little bit about the former track, and that was just how we actually found the donor and everything else.
So the ways that we tracked ovulation was through basal body temping, which I started tracking my BBT August. So August was the first month that we tracked basal body temperature. I was not consistent. I believe I went most of the month without tracking even half of it. So September was the second month. September I did a lot better. It did confirm that I ovulate cycle day 13. So that was one of the forms. The cycle that we actually did do our insems in, we began to do OPKs as well. We started our OPKs cycle day. If you see me looking down, I'm just looking at my fertility friend because everything is logged in there. We started our OPKs cycle day 7, which they were negative, of course, but that's the day that we actually started tracking ovulation.
What we did with the OPKs was we bought like a bundle. We bought like 40 or 50 of them online from eBay, and the reason for that was because we were doing charting. We were definitely on the tracking thing. Like that's gonna be your most important thing, is to make sure that you're doing your tracking. We were doing BBT. She was doing that orally. She had her fertility friend. We were doing our OPKs. We were doing all of that, and what we were doing was we would buy a bunch of the OPKs online. We got ours from eBay, and she would test in the morning. She would test in the afternoon. She would test at night. I think she peed on a stick more than she actually peed in the toilet, but it helped us completely keep track of it, and we kept a little chart of them, and it helped us to see when it was coming. The particular OPKs we had didn't show though until the day before ovulation date and the day
So we wound up going to get Equate ones, which is the Walmart brand, because I felt like the internet cheapies were not working. Because I remember when I was tracking ovulation with OPKs with my first child, that I would get at least a faint line, at least to show that there was something coming. And then by the time that you actually completely surge for ovulation, for the egg to actually release, you would get 2 lines that are the exact same color, exact same brightness, exact same boldness, everything. They should be identical. So when I didn't see any lines at all, I thought that they weren't working. So I was like, okay, we need to go get some OPKs that are actually going to work.
So if you want a bundle, probably get the Wanfos. I've heard a lot of good things about the Wanfos. They come in bundles at all. I was just being super cheap, and I got I don't know what they were called, like I don't know, OPK me or something.
Yeah, I mean they were good. They did eventually work.
I don't know what they were called.
They did eventually work for the cycle. They were good.
Not OPKKK, because isn't that the KKK? Okie dokie, OP Cunningham.
She don't know.
I don't know. They were just some cheap random brand. Sorry.
I mean, but by all means, you can use that brand. We'll try to find the link for them so we can leave it in the description for you guys. I'm not sure how much they cost because Babe is the one that ordered them.
$30 for like 50 tests.
$30 for 50 tests.
It might have been cheaper than that, because that sounds like expensive, and I can't remember paying $30. But it was like a lot of tests for like not a lot of money.
Okay, really so if you want to use those, then that's fine. They did eventually work. It was just that particular test doesn't show anything until you have a high level of LH inside your system, which is basically pretty much the day before ovulation and the day of. That was the only time that you'll see any type of line on your test.
But if you want my personal recommendation, get the Wanfos. We didn't personally get those, but those are the ones that I've heard the best reviews about. So that was how we tracked our ovulation. We did everything. You can't be lazy on this and expect to get a child. Right. We did the basal body temperature, which, like I said, which she took orally. We did the fertility friend. She actually has the premium account, the one you have to pay for, not the free one.
For it.
We actually,
Babies are expensive even before they're conceived.
They are, and you can either get everything tracked down the best you can and try to get it done as quickly as possible,
Right.
or you can continue to constantly pay and redo and redo and redo each cycle and have your glass of wine and your liquor and everything else when you see cycle day one come back around again. We weren't trying to keep having that disappointment.
Right.
So that was how we tracked.
So basically with tracking, from tracking September and August, I found out that I would ovulate cycle day 13. So I scheduled all of our insems around cycle day 13.
Yes.
Our first insemination was cycle day 8. On that day, all we did was inserted the specimen. We collected the specimen first, obviously. We collected, we inserted, and we...
By specimen, she means sperm.
We collected, we insemed, and then we did our grown folk.
We did it. We did it. That was a big part of our insemination. All jokes aside, was
right.
Every single time that we insemed, I would make sure that she had an O, and I don't mean ovulation. So that was something that we made sure that we did every time. And sometimes we would incorporate it. It wouldn't be like a mechanical thing. Okay, well, we're in semen now.
Time for me to go ahead and do this.
Let me go ahead and make this girl real quick.
Right. We completely made it seem as if it was any regular time that we were just doing it. It wasn't, okay, well, we have to do this because we want this kid. It was more, you're my woman. I enjoy doing this. Let's do it. Let's be intimate with each other. So we had that intimate moment. Like, during the whole thing, like, we joked, we talked, like, while we were in semen. Like, we had complete conversations about ridiculousness.
Not while I was making her this is while she was sitting with her legs up for like 30-40 minutes.
Right, we made it intimate. Like, we made it, like, I hear so much talk about it feeling medical. A lot of people talk how IUIs and inseminations, they just feel medical because it's literally, you're putting this stuff inside of a syringe, you're ejaculating it into your woman, and mechanically making her have an orgasm, and that's it. You have to find that thin line, and you have to fix it. Like, you have to make sure that y'all are still having fun. There's no straight couple out there saying, okay, well, we're just going to mechanically have sex so that we can get pregnant. No. 9 times out of 10, they done got drunk at a bar, went home, did the deed, and ta-da, I'm pregnant.
We're not saying that's the way straight people make babies, is by getting drunk and having sex. That's not how all straight people make babies.
I know, not all straight babies.
No offense to you straight people who make babies.
The point that I'm trying to make is that they have fun in it. They don't make it this medical thing. I mean, some of them, the ones that have to go medically, they do. But I mean, just try to, no matter what way you have to do it, whether you're doing it with a doctor anyway, it doesn't matter. Take time to make it fun.
And for you non-bios, doing it that way really, really, really makes you feel involved. Like, you can't pay me to believe that I didn't get her pregnant. Like, you would swear that I made sperm.
She did it all. She collected the specimen from the donor. She brought the specimen upstairs. The only thing I did was put the specimen inside the cup because she was afraid that
it would touch me.
She was, well, you never said that you were afraid it would touch you. But she was afraid that she would mess up. She was afraid that she wouldn't get it in the syringe right. She was afraid that she would kill it all before getting it inside the syringe.
I thought I would push it too hard.
She thought that she would drop the cup if it was open. She just was so nervous on that part.
I was terrified of everything.
So that was the only thing that I handled. I handled getting the actual...
And she did the ratio. She did the ratio of pre-seed to sperm ratio because I didn't really know exactly how that whole thing worked.
Yeah.
But everything else, I did. I inserted the syringe once she owed. I timed it to where right before she was owing, That's what I would insert, and don't feel weird and think that it's going to come out and it's going to affect what you're doing at that time. It didn't. We left the syringe in,
and you're
and
fine.
it won't come back out.
While that syringe is in there, it's
nothing came back out at all. I was perfectly fine. I didn't get any babies in my mouth. That sounds gross, but that's the truth. But anyway,
TMI.
Sorry, that was a TMI moment, but we have to keep it because it's been 15 minutes. We left the syringe in. I would push it really slowly because apparently if you push too fast, it's kind of spraying it at the cervix,
right.
and
it's not
that doesn't work. So I would push it really slowly, and then we would leave it in. She would keep her legs up, and that's when we would sit. We would sit. We would talk. We would
watch TV together.
Watch TV.
Anything. Go on apps together.
Yeah.
Just
randomly window shop for baby stuff. Talk about names for baby stuff. We've already picked our names. Everything. Sometimes she would sit and watch soap operas. I know nothing about soap operas. She would explain it to me. All kinds of stuff. We used it as a bonding moment. We're stuck here.
Right.
So, you know, and I'm not going to leave her side. And that's another thing. Make sure you're involved in every step for you non-bio moms. Like,
right.
Even while she was sitting there with her legs up, I would sit there with her. My legs wouldn't be up because that would kind of look crazy, but I would sit there with her.
All right, guys. So what we're going to do is go ahead and stop this video because we're already at 16 minutes and we're just going to come back with a part 2.